Good evening, Canada. We are back with our new episode of Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, and my co host is Ghada Hamdani. We have a very dynamic, great speaker. With great difficulty, we got her here today due to a very hectic schedule. The Mayor of Caledon, Annette Groves.
Thank you both for having me on your show. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you this
Welcome.
evening.
Welcome,
Thank
Annette.
you.
Yeah, thanks for coming to us with us today.
Thank you.
So, if you don't mind to tell us a little bit about yourself, how did you get involved in this type of politics and field?
Well, I moved to Caledon 32 years ago. And when I moved here, I got quite involved in the community in terms of volunteering. The elections came around. There was an ad in the newspaper in advertising the elections in 1999. And some of my residents and friends and neighbors thought, this would be a good thing for you because of your
Opportunity.
involvement with the community and the volunteer work that you were involved with, that you should run. You'd make a good representative for Bolton. I ran for area councillor for Bolton and won the election in November of 2000.
Lovely.
Oh,
Awesome.
How large is the community there?
So Caledon is just around roughly 80,000 people. We're quite large geographically, but we're very small in population.
So your land area is bigger than Mississauga and Brampton?
Combined.
Wow.
Yes.
So you can
We
have
are just under 700 square kilometers.
so you can really have lots of construction and lots of new immigrants should settle in Caledon.
Well, growth is slated for Caledon, and as you know, the province mandates the growth, and Caledon is slated to grow by 220,000 people over the next 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So our population will increase from 80,000 to 300,000 over the next
300,000.
20 years.
Oh,
Lovely.
but you have farms. What are you going to do with all these farms? Are you going to kill them?
We're not going to kill our farms. In April of 2022, the region of Peel, they expanded our urban boundaries to include about 11,000 acres of lands within our urban boundaries.
Beautiful.
We still have farmland available in Caledon that they will continue to farm if the farmers wish to continue.
for agriculture purpose.
For agriculture purposes, yes.
Lovely. Mayor, tell our viewers, you were also connected to the health sector and you had a clinic.
I did. I owned.
What was that? Just tell us about all the stuff.
Certainly. I owned and operated a clinic in South Etobicoke. It was a multidisciplinary clinic, and by that I mean in there we had pharmacy, had a chiropractor, offered physiotherapy,
multi-purpose,
massage therapy, as well as walking clinic and family doctors.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
We never knew
So
that.
it's a one-stop shop where you can come in and you can, if you need a family doctor, we had family doctors available, or if it's just a walk-in, we had walk-in available, and you can pick up your prescription at the pharmacy.
You can
or
say
if
it's
you
a
need to
wellness clinic.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Absolutely. And I
Lovely.
think that it's great
ahead.
having a wellness clinic where you can do a one-stop shop.
Okay, and you were elected as a councillor for Ward
5.
5.
About 5.
And how long you've been there as a councillor, and then...
So I was elected in 2000 in Ward 5.
In 22, you got elected as
And
the
in
mayor.
2022, I was elected as the mayor.
Your growth was very fast, phenomenal.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Because you are a good volunteer, that I can vouch.
Well, and I think
active.
that absolutely, you need to be connected to your community. You need to know your community. How do you do that? You stay with the people. You talk to the people. You go to the bakeries, you go to the coffee shop, you volunteer.
You are well connected to the people.
Absolutely.
And you were all over. People knew that you are a Mississauga girl.
A Caledon girl.
Because I met you in Mississauga.
Yes.
In a very vibrant riding of our premier.
Well, in Etobicoke, in North Etobicoke is where we met.
We met in, Mississauga. It's called North Mississauga.
No, it's Etobicoke North.
Etobicoke North. Correct.
And that is where the premier's
Premiers were,
is.
yeah.
And at
Etobicoke North, correct.
That's right. At that time, that's where they grew up. I grew up in Rexdale as well, so I'm actually a Rexdale girl.
You're all rounder.
There, absolutely. and I grew up there. I went to school there. I worked there, and then I got married and moved to Caledon.
Beautiful, beautiful, lovely story.
Oh,
Okay, Mayor, just inform us. You hold a position as a chair and so many committees, over 17 committees you are heading. So can you emphasize little bit of for each committee what that committee does, and it does for the region, works for the region or for your city of Caledon?
Absolutely. So I'm not on 17 committees currently, but over the years, I've chaired several committees at the
Mhm.
region. At the region, I was chair of health services for 2 terms. I was also chair of human services, public works. I was on the accessibility committee, and I'm still on a number of committees, the health integration committee, the waste management committee, several committees, audit committee, emergency
Wow, wow. But how you
management
manage a
committee.
single person?
Well, you have to just manage your time well. If you're good at organizing your
Good,
time,
good.
then you'll be able to do all of these things. And all of these committees are very important. They play a very important role
Role.
in our residents' lives. They provide, the region provides excellent service for all of the residents of Brampton, Mississauga, and Caledon. Health services is extremely important. We know that everybody needs
Health.
doctors.
But do you have an independent transit in Caledon?
We do not.
Mhm.
We actually just contracted with Brampton Transit to
Right.
provide some transit in
Wow,
Bolton.
wow.
We did have a transit company that we hired to provide some service in Bolton for the last, I believe they were there for 4 years or so.
Uh-huh.
And we just signed a contract with Brampton Transit to provide transit for Bolton.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
okay. What's your vision for the city and
Well,
businesses? Small
Absolutely.
business especially?
Caledon is an absolutely beautiful place.
Place.
It's a gem and it is a jewel. And I think it's the jewel of the GTHA. Now, while we are slated to grow, we still have a lot of beautiful areas in Caledon that
Mhm.
we will never grow those areas. Those are our areas where we've got
To
our
remain
rural,
natural.
natural areas. We've got the Forks of the Credit. We've got Bell Fountain. We have Alton. We have Cheltenham.
Beautiful,
Terracotta,
beautiful.
we have Caledon East Village, we have absolutely beautiful countryside areas. And I think that that's one of the main that's what attracted me to Caledon, is the fact that it's such a huge place geographically.
Mhm.
It's got rolling hills, beautiful rolling hills, and so we want to protect that. We want to protect our countryside. We have lands to the south, in the south end of Caledon, which those areas will grow. But as we grow, we still want to maintain the characteristics of Caledon. Why did we all move to Caledon? The real reason we moved there, we want to protect its character.
Characters.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That's very nice. Yeah.
Mayor, tell us about the demographics. Which communities reside or are based in Caledon?
Well,
Mostly.
I say, I would say that we have a very diverse community.
Or maybe maximum Caucasians,
I don't know that
percentage wise?
I don't know those percentage, but I would say that we've got a very diverse community, and I don't know that I want to go down the road of what percentages of
No,
what.
no, just approximate.
And we've got a lot of Italians, we've got a lot of South Asians, we've got a group of Ukrainians, we've got all sorts of Irish, we've got a really great diverse community
Community.
there. And this is why I love living there, because of its diversity. And when I first moved there, I can tell you that we've become more diverse over the last 30 years.
Lovely, lovely. Go ahead.
What do you think of the separation of Peel region and getting Caledon and out of it, and it's like the
Well,
separation is
I'm
different.
wearing this pin, and I don't know if your viewers can see this lovely pin that
Beautiful
I'm wearing,
pin.
Zoom in.
but it is a pin
Camera zoom
that
in.
50
celebrates.
years of the
50
region.
It's a pin that celebrates
Our region
50
celebrates
years
50 years, yeah.
of Peel
All
region.
3 cities are celebrating the 50 years.
Well, I am very
That's
proud
nice.
to wear this pin.
Definitely. Why not?
Bill Davis, the late Bill
Oh,
Davis,
my God,
had
my
a
icon.
great vision for our region. And his vision created Peel region. It's a region
I
that
loved
has
the guy,
served, it has served our residents of Caledon, Brampton, and Mississauga well over the years. We've provided excellent service to all of our citizens. And so I am really happy that the premier has made the decision to walk that decision back.
Not to
It
break.
is the right decision for all of the citizens of Peel region.
That's true. United, we become stronger.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will say a good shout out to my colleagues from Brampton and Mississauga, that we've always managed to work well together
Mhm.
to ensure the best decision
For everybody, for the
everyone,
region
for
That's true.
everyone.
overall.
That's very true.
Go ahead.
Okay, what else you can tell us about your personal life?
My
away
personal
from-
life.
yes,
So
yes.
I do have a son. He's 22 years old.
Wow, can't
Yes.
believe.
He was born and raised in Caledon.
Caledon.
It's the only place he's ever lived. He's my only child, and I'm a single mom.
God bless him.
Yes, he's a wonderful, wonderful young man, and I'm very blessed to have him.
Does he have interest in politics like his mom?
He does not. No, he follows politics, but he doesn't have any interest in becoming a politician. Right now, he's apprenticing as an electrician, so
Mhm.
he's in the trades. And as we know, that the trades are actually it's declining. Not a lot of kids want to go into the trades. We have people retiring from the trades, and so it's always great to see young people getting into the trades.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about the pandemic time. How did you manage
That question was there.
the city
Well,
there?
So during the pandemic, I was a counselor. I was not the mayor at the time, but Caledon came together, our council came together, our community came together to support our local businesses as best as we could. We don't have a whole lot of money, but we certainly, we ran a local campaign,
Mhm.
a love local campaign, a support local campaign, encouraging people to really support their local businesses. And our economic development department provided whatever services and whatever assistance they could for our businesses.
May I inform us that by which year Caledon will be self-sufficient, will be standing on its own 2 feet, and you can say that my city is self-sufficient?
Well, we're still a
Any
town.
forecast? You're a town.
We're still a town right now. But, I don't know that we really want to go down that road.
Mhm.
I think we went down that road 3 times
Wow.
with the idea of separation, and all 3
I'm not talking about
times,
separation. Do you think my city is self-sufficient?
Caledon is self-sufficient, and, because we know how to manage our money.
Mhm.
And I think that that's really good money management and good management of our town.
Mhm.
We can always, be self-sufficient.
And what is the strength of your council?
The strength of our council, we've got a diverse council as
Mhm.
well. We've got a council that we've got some councillors there, another councillor and myself. We've been there for a long time.
Uh-huh.
We've got some new council members, and we've got some other council members that have been there, I think, 2 terms. So they all bring different things to the table, their expertise. We've got retired teachers.
Uh-huh.
We've got current teachers. We've got people from the corporate industry.
Yeah.
We've got a farmer on our
All
council.
segments of
so
life.
all different walks of life, and so they bring that to the table. And I think that it's great when you have such a diverse group of people.
And how many represent also in the region from your council?
We've got 2 regional
Regional
councillors and
councillors.
myself.
And total strength is, along with the mayor,
We've got 9 people on
Oh,
our council,
wow.
including the mayor
including the mayor. So that means 8 councillors.
and myself. Yes.
And how many school board trustees?
We have 2.
2 school board trustees.
Yes.
Wow, they're doing very well. And Mayor, tell us, is your, being a town, is your council a part-time or a full-time?
So we have our 2 regional councillors and myself are full-time,
Mhm.
and we've got our local councillors, they are part-time.
Part-time.
Yes.
Like city of Milton also still has part-time councillors.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For the health sector, how is the health of the health sector there? How is the conditions? We have some issues at other cities. So how do you evaluate Caledon? Do you have any shortage?
Well,
for example, anything?
Yeah, thank you for that
Yeah.
question. And I think we all know that there's an issue right across the country
Mhm.
when we're talking about healthcare.
Mm.
We know that there's a shortage of doctors and nurses, and it affects everyone.
Everybody.
It
Yeah.
affects not just our town of Caledon, but it affects everyone. I will say that we've got Headwaters Hospital. We don't
Mhm.
have a hospital in
It's a
Caledon.
large hospital in
It's
Caledon.
not a large
Mhm.
hospital. It's not in Caledon. It's in Orangeville, but it
Okay.
services
Serves this for
Caledon
Caledon.
and Dufferin. So we're very fortunate to have Headwaters Hospital. We also have Brampton Civic that services
Civic, yeah.
another part of our community. So we've got some urgent care walk-in clinics. We've got some great doctors in our community.
Mhm.
So I would say that I truly believe that our community is served well by the medical community that we have currently. Could we use more doctors? Absolutely. We all know that every community is struggling with family doctors. And, part of the problem is we've got a lot of the doctors that retired, and we don't have those up and coming new doctors here. But I'm very encouraged that with the new medical school in Brampton,
Yeah, that will
that
create
will
a good.
be able to bring a lot more doctors to our community.
Okay, and the province will help you with some funding to get some hospitals, some, you'll
I
need
don't
that.
know that we will have a hospital in Caledon anytime soon because we don't have that population. But one of the things that I'm championing, and I have championed,
Mhm.
and I was very fortunate to have a farmer in our community donate 20 acres of land
Oh, wow. For the hospital
for an
project.
urgent care center.
Lovely,
Now,
lovely.
that land is in the ownership of Peel Region, and I am very thankful. It's the Wilson family, Mr. Brian Wilson
Lovely.
and his wife Kathy. Very grateful for that wonderful
Gift.
very
Very generous
very
gift.
generous gift to our community. So we do, as you know, we have the our MPP is the Minister of Health. She's also the Deputy Premier. So I would say we
Just
have a
Christian
good
Freeland is
connection.
in your
to-
riding,
no,
means your city.
no, this is our MPP,
MPP.
Sylvia Jones, and
Oh, I see. Sylvia Jones
she
is.
will help us
Oh,
with
wow.
funding for our urgent care center.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
amazing.
We'll be
Yes.
taking a short break and we'll be back with you. Welcome back after a short break in our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co host, Ghada Hamdani, and our guest, Mayor Annette Groves.
Thank you.
Welcome back after a short break. Annette, tell us more about your vision about Caledon. Okay, what you would like to see Caledon in next 5 years.
In the next 5 years, well, Caledon's, we need to grow our local economy. We need to make sure that our local businesses are thriving, keep our money in our own community, build our facilities for our residents that they need facilities. We build it so that they live, work, and play in our own community and in their own community. And again, as I said, Caledon is just such a beautiful place. And one of the things I love about Caledon is the fact that you have the urban areas of Caledon as well as the rural areas of Caledon.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty. And I want to make sure that we protect that so that we can continue as residents of Caledon to enjoy all the beauty that it has to offer. It is a very unique place. And we want to make sure that that uniqueness remains for generations to
You're
come.
tempting me to visit your city.
It's
or town.
Absolutely.
It's
Again,
amazing. I can tell you, I can assure you.
yes,
Yeah.
and we have some really great people there. We have a large group of volunteers, and of course, many of the services that we provide, we couldn't provide it without those volunteers. I know at the town of Caledon, we have over 140 volunteers, and a lot of them, it goes from 14 years old to 80 years old.
Wow.
And what's great about that, they learn from each other. The seniors learn from the young people. The young people will learn from the seniors because those young people, I'm hoping, they're the people that are going to become our future leaders. And by getting involved in the community, it gives them a great understanding into what the community's needs are and what Caledon really is all about. And my vision for that is that as we grow Caledon, because we are slated to grow, But as we grow, we maintain who we are. We maintain our identities. We've got over 11 hamlets and villages within Caledon,
wow.
and we want to protect those hamlets
Definitely.
and villages as
Yeah.
we grow.
Well, with the economy, you know, right now, people is well, it's hard for people to manage and put food on their tables. So, and there are lots of food banks, and we see the numbers are, you know,
Overwhelming.
rising. Yes, yeah. So, how is Caledon in that term, and what's your plan for that? How you're managing?
We're very fortunate to have Caledon Community Services.
Mhm.
Caledon Community Services provides, they have a food bank.
Uh-huh.
They provide a lot of social services and assistance for our residents of Caledon. And we support them. The community supports them. The corporate citizens in our community, we're very lucky to have a lot of those corporate
Mhm.
citizens within our community because they're great supporters of our Caledon Community Services organization. They provide all sorts of things for our residents, and I know that they are experiencing some challenges, as is everyone across the country experiencing those challenges in terms of you're seeing an increase in the food banks. We have churches that are stepping up in our
Wow.
community.
Very
They
good.
also have food banks, and they're all pulling together. And I think that, you know, when we all pull together and pool our resources, we can certainly achieve a lot.
Absolutely.
May I inform us what is the strength of provincial and federal representation from Caledon?
Well, we have our MPP is Sylvia Jones,
Sylvia
and as I
Jones, yeah.
said
Who is
earlier,
the health minister?
she's the health minister and she's the deputy premier of Ontario.
Mhm.
So we're very fortunate to have
Truly,
Sylvia.
yeah.
And we have Kyle Seaback, and Kyle Seaback is our
He's a
MP.
very hard worker.
He's a very hard worker.
Hard worker, yeah.
He's very dedicated and very committed.
And a
to-
lawyer by profession.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, what else you can tell us about Caledon?
What can I tell you about Caledon
Yes.
that I haven't said? And I feel like
Yeah.
I'm just repeating myself here, that
Yeah.
it is a wonderful place to live, to raise your family. Certainly that's why I chose, and my husband and I at the time, we chose to live in Caledon,
Mhm.
to raise our children there. And I will tell you, it is just a great place to raise your family. It's a great place where you can vacation. You can have a staycation
true.
in Caledon. You
Yes.
really don't need to go outside.
So how about the
Yeah.
hotels, boarding and lodging in Caledon?
Yes, we've got a hotel in
Chains
Bolton.
are there?
Not right now. We've got a hotel in Bolton, and we've got another one that they're in the process of building right now.
Uh-huh.
We've got bed and breakfasts there. We've got different places that you can stay. Do we need some more? We probably do. But in the meantime, it's a place where, and again, Caledon's demographics will change, will continue
Definitely.
to change. We will be growing. Its growth is not something that we can avoid. It's inevitable, but we just have to make sure that as we grow responsibly. We have to make sure our infrastructure is in place. We need to make sure that when we plan these communities, these neighborhoods and these communities are also self-sufficient, that you don't have to
Mhm.
go to the neighbor to the south if you want to, get something at a grocery store, or, to recreation, if you want to do some recreation. It's all done there. We want to build wholesome communities. We want to build complete communities. And I know that's a term that's been tossed around by many, many politicians over the
Mhm.
years, but we want fulsome communities. We want to make sure we build healthy communities. And how do you do that? It's by doing really good planning.
And standing on a united basis.
And you stand united. You stand united and you plan the community together.
Mia, your town of Bolton is a well-developed rather area for retail and other businesses and all. What about the rest of Caledon? They have got any areas like Bolton?
Well, the community of Bolton, Bolton is really very self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient, yeah.
Because you can get almost anything you need in Bolton.
Bolton,
We've
yeah.
got a lot of industry there, so we've got, a lot of our residents can work there. We've got
And the retail structure is strong.
the retail
Bolton.
structure is strong. And as we grow the different areas of Caledon, we need to make sure that we grow all the services as well, and not just roads, and water and wastewater, but we need to grow all the other services: fire, schools, health services, um, retail, the retail industry, the industrial, commercial areas as well, because we want people to live and work. We want to build, we've got to build our trails. We've got to make sure that we have active
And
transportation.
parks and various
Well,
places.
those are all part of a healthy community. And that would be my vision for Caledon as we grow Caledon, that we build these healthy communities.
Definitely.
Healthy communities, it keeps people out of hospitals.
That's
Definitely.
true. So how is the houses and the taxes in Caledon?
Well,
As compared to your two other cities.
Well, I say we're very comparable,
Mhm.
and I think we've managed to keep our taxes
Low.
low, at a reasonable number. And this is why when we do grow, we need to make sure that we are growing responsibly as well. That when the developers come into our community, and they are there, we do have a lot of developers in our community, but we need to ensure that the town works in collaboration with the
Province.
development industry, the province, and
The federal
the federal
government.
government and the region appeal to make sure that growth will pay for itself.
Okay. So it's like I'm gonna, mention something. We have the 413. It's gonna be going through Caledon, and it might affect some of the farms. So how are you gonna compensate these farms? Is there a plan for them?
Government is going to compensate.
That is not
the
my
federal government
project.
or provincial.
That's a province. That's
Provincial
the
project.
provincials. That is their project, and so we're not involved in terms of compensation or what you do. That's not our project. That is the province's
province.
project, and I'm sure that the province will be working with those farmers and those landowners in terms of how they are compensated.
Okay, that's nice.
Bolton is connected to a city of King, which is quite close to Bolton. So how do you see that? Because that belongs to the region of Vaughan.
We share
Boundaries.
we share those boundaries,
Mhm.
and we get along quite well with our neighbors in Vaughan and King.
Because you're the part of the region.
Well,
Part and parcel.
we're not part of their region.
Mhm.
We just have boundaries,
roads.
and we get along quite well with them.
Well, it's very nice talking with you. It's like I feel like we can stay forever. Aspi, do you have any?
Yeah, would you like to give any
Yeah.
final comments, remarks to our viewers and to the people of Caledon and for the people of region of Peel?
Well, my final remarks. First of all, thank you again for having me on
Pleasure
your
having you.
show.
Thank you.
And I say to the people of Caledon that we are a strong community, and as we grow, we become even stronger. And together, we are even stronger together. The region of Peel, as I said earlier, I am so proud to wear this pin.
Definitely.
I am proud to be the part of the region of Peel. I have enjoyed over the years that I've been on council. I have enjoyed working with my colleagues in both Brampton and Mississauga, and there's the strength as well. So we get along quite well at the region of Peel, and I think, there is always strength in numbers. And my mom always said, united you stand, divided you fall. And one of the great things that I love about the region, and for my residents to know, is that we have a great working relationship with our neighbors in Mississauga and Brampton, and we look forward to continuing that.
So Mayor, keep up the good work, what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
And hopefully next year also we'll again give you some trouble to come and inform us how is your region, your town is doing, and what are the new developments. So keep in touch with us, or if you've got any breaking news from Caledon, ask your chief of staff to send us the information, and we will inform our viewers about Caledon.
Absolutely. Thank you. Would love an opportunity to come back and share all of those great things we're doing in Caledon.
So with that
Thank
note
you.
from our guest speaker, Mayor Annette Groves, we would be soon ending our signing off our show of this week of Voice of Canada. Your host Asphandiar Wadiwalla and my co-host Ghada Hamdani. Keep watching Voice of Canada every Saturday at 8 p.m. sharp in our peak transmission time. So we would like to say good night, goodbye, God bless Canada, God save the King.